Want to hear like
It's really a life-changing story.
Yeah.
The from the interview to receiving actually the
Oh
scholarship.
man, that's crazy.
Tell us, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So when I was a senior in high school, I mean, we all actually went to high school together.
Yeah,
we
we
kind
all
of
went
went
to
our
the same
separate
high
way. Now this brought us back, and I'm so glad it did.
we had pizza before the podcast. And
Yeah, man, we got
we were
well
like, wait.
fed.
We were like, wait, what class did I have with you? We were like, we didn't have any class together.
Yeah, we just knew each other, man, from being kids, whatever. But back to high school. I mean, I always, since I was a kid, I knew I was like, man, I want to go to college. I pictured. Well, first I thought I was gonna go play for UT. You know.
Football.
Yeah, I was a little kid. I mean, I was good in little league and stuff. When you're good in little league,
Yeah.
you think you're gonna like go to the NFL. You know.
Right.
But
You already had CTE. No, I'm kidding.
no, not yet. We forgetting everything, but no, I'm just kidding. Well, long story short, I always wanted to go to college. Well, get to my senior year, and I'm like, man, I just have faith. It's crazy, and that's something I always preach to anybody I'm close with, is to like always have that strong faith, right? Things are gonna work out. But I applied for I thought I was gonna get this thing called the Bearcat Promise. I had already gotten accepted to Sam Houston State University, and so I was like, okay, my mom, she makes $22,000 a year. All you have to do is make less than 36, and they'll pay for your tuition. You still got to pay for your room and board, your books and stuff like that, but they'll pay for your tuition.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something,
Yeah.
And growing up as an immigrant kid, like, I was so used to having like less, like it was cool. I was used to just like
Yeah, for sure.
going through whatever. I feel like that's what makes us successful now. That's a strong quality to have. But, well, I call it financial aid office. I remember one time because I wanted to get some more information on it. It was probably like April. Yeah, like April 2013.
Okay.
And I call and they tell me like, oh, well, actually, you do have a social, but I was already on DACA. I had just gotten it like a month or two before.
Nice.
And they were like, well, you have a social, but you're not a citizen, so you wouldn't qualify for the Bearcat Promise.
Yeah.
It's only, you have to apply for FAFSA to get it, and FAFSA you can only apply if you're an American citizen. So if I backtrack a little bit, like 2 weeks before that, I had applied for the Smith-Hudson Scholarship, which is, at the moment, it was only given to business majors. And in my head, I was like, hey, I guess I'm going to be a business major. Like, this is my way out, And so what I had to do is I had to get 2 letters of recommendation.
Even though that's crazy, like as a sacrifice as a student that can't receive anything.
We normalize it now, but when you think about, like, I met so many people who, like, their parents would buy them books about it, take them to different schools with, like, different, like, specialties and things like that.
Yeah. You're like, man, I always wanted to be.
I really want to go engineer, so I went to A&M. Like, or no, I was looking at here. I was like, I applied to 2 schools.
And I was gonna ask you about that.
What happened, bro?
What made you go into business? But now I guess you just answered.
Yeah. Well, in a way, I was always kind of business oriented because I was already making sales. You know what I'm saying? Like, and salesmanship. So it's kind of somewhat business related, right? But still, I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, what I was trying to say, basically was like.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like,
some people
turned out great.
Yeah, it did.
Good.
So blessed.
Is good.
So yeah, I do that. And what's crazy is that I submitted the scholarship. It had to submit. I don't remember what day, but I had to submit it like on some day of March, like one day in the month of March, and I submitted the very last day. Like, I had to mail it out. I paid for a stamp and everything. Like, my mom, bro, she didn't even know I was applying for a scholarship.
Yeah.
Like, I asked her for her tax paperwork. She was like, why you need it? I was like, I need it for a scholarship. But she was just kind of just like, okay, it's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just something you just think is going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And really, I was like, confident in a way. But so long story short, I had to get that. I had to get a letter of recommendation. I had to write a paper saying what I wanted to do once I graduated and got a scholarship. That's it. So I submitted the day before, and this is probably not like a real like highlight of the story, but I actually asked my football coach if he could write me a letter, and my AP English teacher, Ms. Ridenauer and Coach Stewart, and I love them so much both because they really changed my life, and I always remind them of that once I graduated, and still to this day. They wrote me a recommendation letter. Luckily, I was the captain of the football team my senior year.
Yeah.
And so like that was actually a big goal before. That was like my first goal I ever accomplished. And so that like I feel like made it really look good. I had like 100 hours community service,
Yep.
and I had a good grade. So, yeah, man, I applied for it, and I remember it was crazy that like once I got told no, that I wasn't gonna get the Bearcat Promise, I was like, well, hopefully the scholarship to say something. But I didn't hear back. And then one time, it was a Sunday. I was working at Sears. I was working with my boy Carlos, and we're still good friends now. And hold on, yeah, we're good. And they give me a call, and so it's a 936 number, and I don't want to pick up because it was when some stuff was going down, like, you know, personally, and I didn't want to really pick up a number right like that. And but I pick up. I'm like, hello. They're like, oh, is this Noe Garcia? Right away when I heard now who I know who she is, Dr. Musan's voice, I knew what it was, you know. So I'm like, oh yeah, can you speak? I'm like, yeah, it's a Sunday, it's low. So I go to the back. I'm taking a phone call. Long story short, they tell me I'm a finalist, you know, for the scholarship.
Nice.
This is a full ride, you know, everything. So
what does the scholarship include? Just for like the?
no, man. I mean, dude, I'll share. You know, this is what we do this. They would give me $8,000 a semester. So,
Okay.
My first semester, since they made us live on campus, I had to pay a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, because I couldn't apply for FAFSA, but there was people who like got the scholarship and would get like the Pell Grant.
Yeah.
So they would get like they had a lot of money. Excuse me. But either way, but after that, I mean, I've always worked, so I had money, and what'd you call it? Every semester, I would get like $3,000 back
Yeah.
to live on.
Yeah.
And so when I really realized, I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, long story short, man. Well, I kind of jumped a little bit on that one, but no, it's all good. I got the call. I went to the interview, and I was just so determined that I was gonna get it. I go to the interview, man. I walk out. I tell my dad, I said, I got the scholarship. They said they gotta let me know in a week, but I know it's mine, you know. And yeah, man, just the next day, I get the call. And I mean, the call, I really like. I mean, I remember how I went, and telling me, hey, she kind of was messing with me. She said, she said, oh, I really tried to get you the scholarship, or something like that, you know. But she was like, but no, I want to let you know. And her name is Dawn Lewinsky. She's a banker now.
Yeah.
And a very, very nice, sweet lady. And she let me know that when I was done with the interview, because it was like an interview of 11 people interviewed me. It was like the dean, the vice dean, you know, like
Oh, it was like a group.
yeah, bro, it was a whole
Group
panel
interview?
of 11 people.
Damn.
What
Mr.
type of, what type
Hudson?
of questions?
Huh?
What type of questions? What type of interview?
The first, I mean, they were extremely polite. It wasn't like a hard job interview or anything like that. First, they asked me, I remember, like, anything changed, because they were looking at my financials. And I guess they were like, man, how does this kid live off, you know, $20,000 a year, you know, like me and my mom.
Yeah.
You know
How's
what
your
I'm
mom
saying?
like staying alive with just that?
Yeah.
Income.
Mm-hmm. And so, then just gotta get into just some questions, man, just who I was. And I remember just this one key part that they said, they were like, do you have anything else for us? And I remember, and this is like, if anybody's listened to this, like, if you're ever at that spot, just go for it. If you're ever like that in a job interview, or like anything big important where you're being, I mean, of course not the police, but like anything like that, you know, just don't talk to the police, get a lawyer. But what you call it, like that, just go for it. And what I mean by that is because when they said that, I said, yes, I do. I said, I promise you all that if you give me this scholarship, you're not gonna regret it. I said, I've never had much resources. Like, I'm just like another kid, like from a certain neighborhood. But I have, like, you know I'm gonna work real hard, and like I'm gonna do great things. You know, I just said it with a big smile and just a lot of confidence. I mean, this is an 18-year-old kid. You know, I just had turned 18. Man, that's crazy. I remember that shit. And walk out. That's when Dawn was. I remember she held my hand. She was like, "You have my vote. You know, best of luck. We're gonna let you know in a week." And that's when I walked out. I saw my dad, and I let him know. I said, that scholarship is mine. You know,
Yeah.
I just knew, and in a way, like very humbly, like I didn't tell nobody anything. I didn't go to school and say I got a scholarship without getting it. I honestly, I didn't even mention it to anybody. I feel like nobody even knew how I got a scholarship. But
You were still in high school?
huh? Yeah, this was senior
Okay.
year, bro. So, but yeah, man. I mean, the next day I get the call. I'm actually in Miss Ryanauer's class. It was like right before we graduated, bro. So nobody was really doing shit. It was an AP class, so we already like we were done with like our work and whatever. I already took our AP test. And yeah, man. I mean, like I remember I went back into the room, and it meant a lot to her because she wrote me the letter.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time too that I found this book. I have it at my house now. I wrote about like, who was my hero, you know,
Yeah.
and talking about my mom. Just because everything, how she handled so much adversity, and she was just so brave at all times, such a strong woman. And but she wrote. I mean, I guess I was naive. I probably wouldn't share that now. I mean, now I will. But I was like, you know how like there was times where we just didn't have much.
Yep.
My mom always made it
Yeah.
happen somehow, or we toughed it out together, you know. But she found out. I remember one time she pulled me aside for class and she was like, "If you ever need anything, let me know." She was that type of teacher, you know. It's good to have those type of people in your
Yep.
life. But yeah, man, I walked in and I was like, I got the scholarship. And then I remember I went and I just sat down, and I remember like I sat down and I put my hands like this, and then I started I started crying like crazy, like at that moment. And it was like it's just gonna sound super corny, bro, but like my little classmates clapped for me. But really, man, it was a big moment. I mean, I just got a full ride scholarship, and they
That's a
knew
big
what
deal,
happened
eh? That's a
because she
big deal.
mentioned it to everybody. He was like, she just got a full ride, and then they all clapped for me, and it was
Man.
like a special moment. I remember it was sweet, but yeah, bro. I remember that day. I called my mom at lunch, and I remember Franco, which at the moment they were dating, and they met through work, so they worked together. What you call it?
Who's Franco?
My stepdad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we were like, wait.
We both looked at each other.
My fault, Franco.
I thought
Love you,
Franco
bro.
was that one kid in the 8th grade.
Nah. Yeah, man. So he was telling me that she was like wanting to do flips and shit. That's how happy she was. I mean, it was life changing, man. After that.